Hello, fellow English language teaching professional. Let's talk. Not the sexiest topic, but it's one that is a fly in almost every English language program's ointment, a bug in everyone's bear, a pet in everyone's peeve. I might be making an overly creative use of language, but you get the idea. Without further ado, what I would like to talk to you about is placement tests. Surveys indicate that a surprising number of teachers and institutions are extremely dissatisfied with their current placement testing solution, or lack thereof. You might be one of them. If you are, you may agree with one or more of the following common complaints: that the test is too long and that there is too much reading required, that there is cultural bias in the content, that teachers are responsible for too much of the grading, that the results are not immediate, or that the placement recommendations are not all that accurate. It's hard to tell for sure, given that I'm trapped in your computer, but I sense you nodding in agreement. And that is a good thing, because I have a great new solution to tell you about: Lexica. Here are the details that make Lexica sound too good to be true. It is cloud-based, so it can be taken on any computer or mobile device. It is a very quick test for learners to take, but still very accurate. It is very affordable and will represent just the lightest breeze going through your institution's budget. It's culturally neutral. Scoring is automated with immediate results, and placement recommendations can be customized to your own institution's course offerings. That all sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Now I'm sensing that you're interested, so let me quickly explain how Lexica doesn't just sound good, but actually is good. Lexica is a vocabulary-based test. There are a number of valid and reliable vocabulary tests out there, but they are not all equally effective or efficient. Lexica takes the form of the breakthrough yes-no vocabulary test that was developed by Dr. Paul Miera and his colleagues at Swansea University in the late 1980s. The format was quite simple. Test takers were simply asked to look at a list of words and put a Y next to each word that they knew the meaning of, and an N next to each word that they didn't know the meaning of. The obvious question is, what's to keep an examinee from simply answering yes to each item? The answer is that the test takers were told in advance that not all of the words were real English words. In fact, the test contained a mixture of real words and pseudo words, words that look and sound like real English words but actually aren't. That if they put a Y next to words that they really didn't know, they would quickly be found out because they would wind up claiming to know a bunch of fake words that they couldn't possibly know the meaning of. And this would lower their score to the point where they would appear to be much less proficient than they really were. Over the past 28 years of ongoing research, this yes-no test format has proven again and again to be a very reliable and efficient means of measuring a learner's vocabulary size. Lexica is based on this yes-no format, but brings it into the 21st century with cloud-based delivery and computer-adaptive, multi-stage design. Oh, I should mention something else. Item difficulty is determined by corpus-based word frequency bands for the 5,000 most frequently occurring words in American and British English, based on the COCA and the BNC. Once an examinee's vocabulary level is determined, then that level can be mapped to approximate CEFR levels, or the levels of your institution. Okay, you might be thinking now, Lexica is a good vocabulary-based test, but how does that translate into it being a reliable placement test? Honestly, that was my first reaction, but then I became familiar with the research behind it. Rest assured, a lot of the top nerds in language acquisition would give their stamp of approval to this approach. In his 2008 study, Research in Vocabulary Acquisition, Lars Stenius-Stare revealed that as much as 72% of the variance in reading scores can be accounted for by an examinee's vocabulary size, and that as much as 52% of the variance in writing scores can be accounted for by an examinee's vocabulary size. Let's bring in nerd number 2. In 2013, Dr. James Milton of Swansea University published a summary of a number of studies that have shown strong correlations between a learner's vocabulary size and their performance on reading comprehension tests. In 2005, Charles Alderson's research showed very good correlations between vocabulary size and proficiency in reading, writing, listening, and grammar, with the strongest correlations in reading and writing. The nice thing about all this research is that it very clearly shows what many of us already intuitively know. Measuring a learner's vocabulary size is a very effective way to estimate their general proficiency. And last but not least, let me tell you that a reporting page is available to teachers and administrators. Important data points include the student ID number, language, the number of false alarms, how long it took to take the test, the student's vocabulary level, and their suggested placement. Let's wrap this baby up. Lexica is a new, quick, effective, reliable, cloud-based, and cost-efficient placement test that is based on cutting-edge research. I hope we have come close to convincing you that Lexica will end your placement testing woes. But regardless, the final step has to be trying it out for yourself. Please contact me so that we can get your institution set up with a free trial. This video is about to end, so make sure you take note of salesandmarketing@englishcentral.net. That's salesandmarketing@englishcentral.net. This is how you're going to get in touch with me and get the fly out of your ointment, the bug out of your bear, and the pet out of your peeve. Talk to you soon.